In the bustling heart of Santa's workshop, where the air buzzed with the sound of hammers and laughter echoed against the walls decked with tinsel, young Ollie the elf lingered in uncertainty. Unlike his fellow elves who deftly crafted toys and wrapped presents with flair, Ollie found himself clumsy with a hammer and tangled in ribbons. His deep-set eyes often reflected frustration, as he longed to find his purpose in the festive chaos that surrounded him. Day after day, Ollie tried to mold toys with little success, his creations collapsing or looking distinctly untoy-like. At the wrapping station, paper would tear under his impatient fingers, or knots in the ribbons would elude him entirely. His cheeks flushed with embarrassment as he consistently lagged behind. Feeling disheartened, Ollie sought solace in the quiet space of the library, where a world of stories awaited him, filled with tales of elves who found their true calling. It was on a particularly snowy evening, while immersed in reading about the history of Christmas traditions, that inspiration struck. Ollie realized his love for storytelling. The tales he cherished and the legends of Christmas spirit flickered in his mind, offering him a path where he had failed to see one before. With newfound determination, he approached Santa Claus with a suggestion. Ollie proposed to create a grand storytelling session for all the children who visited Santa's grotto. Through his stories, the spirit of Christmas could come alive in the imaginations of the young, painting vivid pictures of elves, reindeer, and the magic that descended each December. Santa, wise and perceptive, saw the glow of passion in Ollie's eyes and agreed to Ollie's unique idea. With Santa's blessing, Ollie gathered the elves, who eagerly contributed their own stories and experiences. The library became a workshop of words, where tales were crafted with as much care as any toy. As Christmas Day approached, Ollie found himself standing in front of a gathering of wide-eyed children, both excited and a bit nervous. With a deep breath, he began weaving tales of snowy wonderlands, of how Santa first met his reindeer, and the adventures of elves in the North Pole. The children were enraptured, their giggles and gasps testament to the magic Ollie spun with his words. The storytelling was a triumph, as it ignited imaginations and left a sparkle in every child's eye. Ollie had found his place in Santa's workshop, not as a toy maker or rapper, but as a storyteller, nurturing the magical essence of Christmas through the power of narrative. He had discovered that his true gift was the ability to inspire wonder and joy, a gift as precious as any toy or festooned package. On a snowy evening in the picturesque North Pole, Ollie the elf was meticulously wrapping the last batch of gifts for Christmas Eve. Just as he took a moment to admire his handiwork, he overheard Santa Claus's deep, warm voice coming from the adjacent room. "We need a solution, my friends. The weather reports predict dense fog on Christmas Eve, and it could greatly impact our journey," Santa stated with a hint of concern. Curiosity piqued, Ollie tiptoed closer to the door. He could see Santa surrounded by his trusted advisors, all wearing serious expressions. "The reindeer have never faced fog this thick before," Mrs. Claus added, looking out the frosted window. "Rudolph's nose, while bright, may not be enough this time." Ollie, known for his ingenuity and quick thinking, felt a spark of inspiration igniting in him. He hurried back to his little workshop nook, all the while pondering over the potential solutions. He recalled the old tales of inventions in their library and remembered something about guiding lights. As the minutes flew by, Ollie assembled a contraption using tiny, shimmering gems and enchanted winter lights. He combined these with Rudolph's favorite magical berries, which granted temporary flight to anything they touched. The following morning, with his contraption in hand, Ollie stood at the entrance of Santa's workshop. Trembling with a mix of excitement and apprehension, he took a deep breath and knocked. "Come in," Santa's booming voice beckoned. Ollie entered, his heart pounding in his chest. "Sir, I think I might have something that can help with the fog," he announced bravely. presenting his creation. Santa and his advisors gathered around, intrigued. These are guiding lights, enhanced with magical berries that reflect and elevate the light, illuminating any path, even in the thickest fog, Ollie explained. Santa's eyes twinkled with hope and amazement. Brilliant, Ollie. We must test it immediately, he exclaimed. With Ollie's device strapped to the sleigh, they conducted a trial run. The results were extraordinary as the path became crystal clear, cutting through the dense fog. You've saved Christmas, Ollie, Santa declared, clapping the young elf on the back. Cheers erupted from the room. The festive spirit was restored, and the sleigh was ready to depart, ensuring that gifts would reach every corner of the world, fog or not. In the quaint village of Eldergrove, there was a young inventor named Ollie Thistle. With a mind brimming with curiosity and a heart full of dreams, Ollie spent his days tinkering away in his workshop. His olive-colored eyes sparkled behind round glasses as he envisioned new gadgets and whimsical contraptions. One autumn evening, as the dusk painted the skies with hues of orange and violet, Ollie decided to embark on a new invention journey. Inspired by the tales of his grandfather, who spoke of lanterns that guided travelers through enchanted woods, Ollie set out to create a magical lantern that could light the way in even the darkest hours. The challenge was not simple. Eldergrove had long relied on the stars above and the flicker of simple oil lamps. But Ollie believed in blending practicality with a touch of enchantment. He began by consulting ancient tomes and physics texts, combining the wisdom of both magic and science. After weeks of trial and error, of sparks flying and gears whirring, Ollie finally found success. The lantern, crafted from copper and a special glass found only in the nearby caves, contained within it a tiny fragment of starlight he had captured using an enchanted net. It shimmered with an ethereal glow, a soft and welcoming light that seemed to dance with a life of its own. One night, feeling confident in his creation, Ollie ventured into the dense forest on the outskirts of the village. As he walked, the lantern not only illuminated his path, but also revealed hidden trails, the secret trails whispered about but never seen. Strands of light wove through the trees, wrapping gently around the branches like threads of silver silk. The forest, under the lantern's glow, transformed into a mystical realm. Upon returning to the village, the townspeople were awestruck by his invention. Evening gatherings became more frequent, as stories were shared and laughter filled the illuminated square. The lantern became a symbol of hope and wonder, showing that even the smallest dream could light up the world. Ollie's magical lantern was more than just a source of light. It was a beacon of possibility, an emblem of pursuing one's passions with love and unbridled imagination. And thus, the village of Eldergrove, guided by the gentle glow of Ollie's invention, continued to thrive, a testament to the power of dreams and daring hearts. In a small, bustling workshop tucked away in the heart of the city, Ollie the inventor was hard at work on his most ambitious project yet, a machine that could transform household waste into reusable materials. His hopes were high as he put the final touches on the contraption, a complex assembly of tubes, gears, and conveyor belts. Ollie, a stout and enthusiastic inventor, had always been known for his eccentric ideas and unyielding determination. His short, curly hair often had a mind of its own, much like his creative thoughts, and his eyes gleamed with curiosity and drive. His heart was set on making a difference, and this invention was his way of contributing to a cleaner, more sustainable world. As he flipped the switch to test his creation, at first, everything seemed to run smoothly. However, as he started feeding old newspapers into the machine, a loud clanking noise echoed throughout the workshop. Within seconds, screws began shooting out like tiny missiles, and the conveyor belt swung wildly, bringing garbage into the air. Instead of turning waste into usable materials, the chaotic machine was now transforming Ollie's tidy workshop into a spectacular mess. Panicked but determined to not give up, Ollie tried to halt the machine. Just then, his friends, Maya, a quick-thinking engineer with a knack for problem-solving, and Leo, a calm historian with a passion for learning from the past, rushed into the workshop, drawn by the commotion. Maya quickly assessed the situation and pointed out an overlooked detail in the machine's design, a fundamental flaw in the gear alignment that Ollie had missed. "I think it's the alignment here," she suggested, her eyes narrowing as she traced the cause with her finger. Meanwhile, Leo began picking up the strewn papers, recognizing many familiar pages from history books, and he couldn't help but chuckle. "Well, at least the machine didn't digest these," he remarked humorously. Together, they calmed Ollie's frustrations and worked to fix the flaws. It turned into a collaborative effort, where Ollie learned to appreciate the importance of a careful review and the value of teamwork. By the end of the day, the workshop was spotless once again, and the machine was back on track. Ollie, with a sigh of relief, thanked his friends for their invaluable help. More than just repairing the machine, he learned how mistakes can forge stronger bonds and lead to better inventions. With renewed confidence, Ollie knew his invention would soon help make the world a cleaner place, one thoughtful adjustment at a time. On Christmas Eve, the air was thick with fog, wrapping the world in a white blanket, creating a magical yet challenging atmosphere. Santa Claus, always prepared for the unpredictable whims of winter, found himself in a predicament. The fog refused to lift, making visibility almost non-existent as he readied his sleigh for the night of gift-giving. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the North Pole, Santa's elves were scurrying around, loading the sleigh, polishing the reindeer harnesses, and ensuring every detail was perfect. However, the visibility issue was a problem no elf could solve with their usual tinkering and magic. That is until Ollie, one of the youngest and most inventive elves, stepped forward with an idea. Ollie had been working on something unique during the year, a lantern that was said to shine brighter than any light ever seen at the North Pole. "I call it Ollie's lantern," he declared with a sparkle in his eye, holding up a curious object that glowed warmly even amidst the dense fog. Santa, always open to new ideas, decided to give Ollie's creation a try. He mounted the lantern on the front of his sleigh, just above Rudolph, who proudly held his position at the head of the reindeer team. As soon as Ollie's lantern was lit, it cast a radiant light that pierced through the fog with ease. The sleigh, now appropriately guided, took off into the cloudy sky, cutting through the misty veil with precision. The luminescent glow was both a guiding beacon and a magical spectacle that painted the night sky with shimmering clarity. The journey was smooth, and Santa chuckled with delight as each house was reached without a hitch. Thanks to Ollie's lantern, Santa completed his journey without delay, ensuring that every gift was delivered on time. As Christmas Day dawned, Santa returned to the North Pole, grateful for the innovative spirit of the elf who had saved the night. Ollie's eyes shone brighter than his lantern ever had with pride and joy, as Santa declared him the official keeper of the lantern. From that day forward, Ollie's lantern became an essential tool for every foggy Christmas Eve adventure. In a quaint village not far from the North Pole, there lived a curious little elf named Ollie. While most elves were content with their routine toy-making, Ollie's mind was always racing with new ideas and inventions. One snowy evening, as the northern lights danced across the sky, the elves gathered around to discuss the preparations for Christmas. However, this year they were facing a big problem. The mechanical sleigh that helped Santa deliver presents every year had malfunctioned just weeks before Christmas Eve. Ollie, eager to contribute something extraordinary, proposed an invention he had been secretly working on, the Present Propeller 3000, a revolutionary device that would enhance the sleigh's speed and reliability. His intuitive device used the force generated by propellers to create a smooth and swift flying experience. Initially met with skepticism, Ollie's determination and detailed blueprint won over his fellow elves and, most importantly, Santa himself. Under the guidance of Santa, Ollie and the elves worked tirelessly day and night to build the present propeller 3000. Every elf, inspired by Ollie's passion and belief, contributed, turning it into a collective mission. The days flew by, and finally, the new invention was ready. Breathing collective sighs of relief, the elves watched as Santa took the modified sleigh for a test flight. A cheer erupted from the workshop as Santa soared across the sky, the sleigh seamlessly cutting through the snowy clouds with newfound grace and speed. The Christmas was saved, and the elves could finally relax. An elaborate celebration marked the success of the invention. The North Pole buzzed with excitement, twinkling lights reflecting the smiles of the joyous elves. It was during this festive occasion that Santa himself declared Ollie as the official North Pole inventor, a revered title that symbolized ingenuity and perseverance. With his mind ripe with fresh ideas, Ollie now donned the title with pride, already sketching out blueprints for the next invention. Contributing to the spirit of Christmas had become more than a task. It was Ollie's calling.